This season was some bullshit. It was some bullshit.
It sure was.
Who are we beginning with? Like,
Well,
tell me what you're
we
doing because I just need to get some shit out. Go,
I
just
don't
go.
know. I mean, I guess we can just start with the couple that everyone I'm sure is talking about who watched the show, and that would be our favorites.
Chris and
Which is,
Paige.
oh yes,
That little asshole,
what a
Chris.
nightmare. Welcome back, guys, to your favorite podcast. It's your girl Cassie here.
And Amanda.
Oh, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. I had a very nice day today. It's been warm weather, so the warmer it is, the better my day is. I'm gonna tell you that for sure, without a doubt. So I definitely got to enjoy that before I'm cooped in the house again tomorrow back to work.
Oh God. Well, that's good though. I'm glad that you were able to kind of get out and do something. I did the same thing, but not today. I did it yesterday because it was like
Mm,
the first day of like the nice weather. And
yes.
I came home from work and I was like, babe, I was like, you're taking me out to dinner. I was like, it is way too nice out for me to cook or for us to like do anything. I was like, we need to like get out and like go do something. So we went
That's the
out
right energy.
to this to this restaurant. It was like on the water and stuff. The food not that great, but
Ooh.
I loved the vibes and I was outside. It was nice. I was by the water. So to me, everything
Mm-hmm.
else didn't really matter.
That's not bad. So we're not gonna ask what restaurant this was, so wouldn't want
No,
to blow up their spot, let you find out the hard way.
I know. Well, it's hard for me because, like, you know where we're from, right? Like, we have, to me, the best seafood, like, on the planet.
Hmm.
And I just haven't been able to find that anywhere else. And
It's hard.
it is, and I don't wanna drive 2 hours to go just get some seafood, right? So, I'm trying to, like, find, like, other things in the area, and I was like, "Okay, like, this place is, like, on the water, so, like,
Hmm.
maybe," and it's in, like, a ritzy area, um,
Yeah.
but no, that wasn't I've had that was mm, that was at the bottom of my fish and chips list, I will, say that.
Oh gosh, and fish and chips are not hard to mess up, you know what I mean? But at the
Yeah,
same time, you got to do it right. But
you do, but no, it
yeah,
wasn't there yesterday, so I was a little disappointed, but whatever.
well, I'm sorry to hear it because that, you know me, just food in general, but I'm with you on the seafood. Yeah, I'm like, can I talk to the chef real quick? Because we're gonna need them to hook up with the southeastern side and talk to a few
Yeah.
chefs that way.
Right? It's crazy. Like, ugh, I don't know. I gotta come home one of these days and get some seafood because I'm surely
Yeah,
missing it.
make a trip out of it. Come visit us. You know, I'm right here on the water. So just
I know
saying.
that's true. That's true. I know. I know.
Well, I'm glad you got out to enjoy that weather because yesterday was nice as well, and I made a point to get outside twice yesterday for a little quick walk during my work
Nice.
day. Yeah. So I'm loving it. I can't wait for it to keep consistent, and then it's gonna get too hot and too humid and everyone's gonna complain, but whatever. I'll take it.
I know. I'm so ready for it. You have no idea.
Yes, yes, yes. But a long overdue conversation we are to have.
Oh, yes, we are. So I don't know who watches this show, but if you have Netflix, then you do have access to it. And I recently found out during one of our, or during our last, I would say, meetup,
Hmm.
we were talking about, I don't even know how it came into conversation, but the
Right.
show that we've been watching is called Married at First Sight.
Ooh.
And what an interesting show that is. And I'm so excited that, like, me and my boyfriend aren't the only ones that watch this together.
My boyfriend put me onto it.
Which is also really interesting because I think I put him onto it. But I think it's kind of cool, and I think it's a really good show to watch with your significant other and have very important conversations.
No, you're like, I know you laugh when you say it, but it's the truth. It really, really is. He said he started watching it during COVID and he said the
Mhm.
same thing. He's like, they have some good conversations that actual couples like outside of the show should have.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we be having some good some good conversations based off of that show. So I highly, highly recommend it for people.
Hell yeah. And even if you're not in a relationship, just watch it because it gives you things to ask that person you may be dating
Yeah.
or going to date or, even ask yourself some of these questions that they have on here, or just talk to yourself, I guess, about some of these discussions that are on the show, because it really it really makes you think. Some stuff really makes you think and kind of look inward, but look outward and just kind of like, oh shit, different
Yeah,
perspectives.
definitely does. And it's just fun to kind of like gauge and see, like, okay, like, nah, that couple's not gonna make it, or like, oh,
Mm,
you know what, those two actually really work well together. So,
yes. Or why they put them together. So let's just jump into it. So if you so wait, this is season 11, right? It was season 11 because there's numerous episodes of Married at First Sight. Like,
yeah,
because I want to say New Orleans was season 12 with Amani and Woody.
yeah, I don't remember like the season numbers, but
Well,
I
I'm
know
just
which.
trying to forewarn people just in case if you ain't watching in order, because I definitely don't
Oh,
know if I watched in order or not. I have no idea. But
gotcha. Yeah, so
what's the location
disclaimer.
for this one?
This one, sorry, there's like a weird little bug in here. Um, this one was in Atlanta.
That's right. Yes, Atlanta. Oh, this
Yeah.
season, see, I already forgot the location. Usually I have the locations on point.
Oh, yeah. But no, I was gonna say on your point of like mixing up the seasons, this is everyone's disclaimer for if you are in the process of watching this or if you haven't or whatever, we are gonna do some spoiler alerts, so
Mm-hmm.
beware.
Right. So pause this and resume this episode when you finish the season, or if you just can't wait, continue listening, because this season was some bullshit. It was some bullshit.
It sure was.
Who are we beginning with? Like,
Well,
tell me what you're
we
doing, because I just need to get some shit out. Go.
I
Just
don't
go.
know. I mean, I guess we can just start with the couple that everyone I'm sure is talking about who watched the show, and that would be our favorites.
Chris and
Which is,
Paige.
oh yes,
That little asshole,
what a
Chris.
nightmare.
You know what? And I feel two different types of ways about Paige, because
Yeah,
yeah, that really sucks that she was paired with probably like the worst person they could ever pick.
yeah.
And he doesn't strike me as necessarily a bad person, but he's very manipulative and deceiving.
Oh
And I'm
yeah.
sure there are good qualities to him, but he was not to be on this show. Like, he got on this show and showed his ass, and it was really ridiculous. But
Yeah.
Paige, I felt bad for. I felt bad for her because of dealing with him.
Mhm.
I felt bad for her because her friends nor the other cast members kept it 100 with her on the show and let her know what the fuck was really going on. Like,
Yeah.
you see, like, he's blatantly telling you he's not attracted to you. But wait, let me have
Ugh.
sex with you to see if that makes me more attracted to you.
Right? What kind of
Bitch,
bullshit?
how?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Where do they do that at?
No,
That
that's insane. And that's
that's
that's just how
disgusting.
it started. That was like the first day. Like it gets so much worse than that, but like I'll be damned if my husband was not attracted to me and like him, not even him, but like the entire family made her feel so guilty like she had to have sex with him or something. Like it was
His
just
That relationship
mad
with his
weird.
dad was weird as
Yeah,
fuck, because it's
very
like,
weird.
for one, why are either of your, well, the mom wasn't as much, but the dad was really rooting for him, like, to
Yeah.
have sex on the night of the honeymoon, to have a honeymoon baby. So you're encouraging your son to have sex with a woman that he is just meeting and to have a child with that woman.
Yeah. It's insane to me. Like I just didn't really understand why it was so intense, like so early. And even with him telling her bridesmaids, like, hey, she's not really somebody like I normally go with. Like, I'm not that attracted to her, but I think she's someone that like I need, but not someone that like I necessarily want. But like, who the hell?
Right.
The kind of like
Right.
cocky ass, like, what the hell?
Can we fast forward like a lot on their relationship and just jump to the point where he's telling Pastor Cal that out of all the women you could have picked in Atlanta,
Oh,
you
yeah.
pick her?
Mm.
She was not a bad looking girl at all. But
No, not at
the
all.
audacity, the audacity of you to complain about who you're partnered with, and you couldn't even respect her.
Yeah, I know. That in itself was just like a huge red flag and a big no no.
Mm.
But man, when he got that other announcement, that shit just took it to a whole another level. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me right now. Like, there ain't no way this man about to have a whole baby while he just got married with someone that he's never met before. Like,
That
just insane.
I find that whole thing to be weird. That whole situation, even like how Paige said, she's like, I don't even know if the chick was really actually pregnant.
Yeah, I still don't even know. But then, like, why have the audacity to come on the show and like do this whole front and say like, we're not getting back together and like all this kind of stuff? But I don't know.
She,
Something's just very weird about it.
she had no reason to be on the show. You're not a
Yeah.
cast member. Don't nobody care
Yeah.
about you. You're irrelevant.
No, it was just drama for the storyline, which is kind of new for the show. I feel because
That was extra.
yeah, like there's drama, but like not that's like reality TV kind of drama.
Right. Like they took that shit to a whole nother level. A whole
Yeah.
nother level. But anywho. So we might as well just keep going with the not so great couples. Was it Haley
Oh,
and Jacob?
I was gonna say we're done with those ones, but we can come
I
back to it.
we can.
Um,
I just want to get through because you know me, I'll go on a tangent and I'll forget what the fuck we were. I just
that's
want to touch
true.
base real quick before we get back into that nasty drama of them too. Oh,
Gotcha. But yeah, those two, I ain't gonna lie, deep down, I really wanted them to work out so bad. Like, I know that they were the most like opposite couple, and like it was really just like a train wreck. But like
mm-hmm.
they argued like a true married couple, and even when they
Mm.
divorced, they act like a married couple. Like I don't know, their whole vibe was just so interesting to me.
So why do you truly think they didn't work?
I think that she is very stubborn, and I think there's a reason why she's been single for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that he's just a little quirky, but like I don't even really think that that's a reason to not. Oh, I clicked the wrong button over here. Sorry. But I don't think that that's a reason to like not like him. I don't think that he's a bad guy at all.
Mm-mm.
I just think that he's like a little strange. But what I really want to know is what on earth happened that night they had sex because that just changed everything for them. And I so desperately want to know why. Like what happened?
Whatever happened that night is the reason why they didn't work out for Haley's sake.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
clearly they did not work out because of something that happened between the sheets or wherever the hell they had sex at.
Hmm.
So I personally think that if it wasn't anything extreme, then Homegirl is just shallow aside from being stubborn.
Yeah.
But he was genuinely trying with the change. Like she's buying him clothes and he's trying that stuff out. She had a really hard time accepting him for who he was.
Yeah, she
And
did.
like she made that so clear. And like you said, he was a little different. You know, he was stuck in the 80s, which
Hmm.
was like, all right, I get it. The 80s seemed like a hell of a good time. You know, I
Yeah.
was born at the end of the decade, so I didn't really get to, embrace it like I would have liked to. But
Right. Right. He was a little
that was
extra.
that was a bit much,
Yeah.
right? Like, and he was, and the thing is, he was talking about his house a lot,
Hmm.
but he had a right to. He was proud of it. You
Right.
know, he just was a little socially awkward when it came to having conversations. That's what's really what it came down to.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I don't know. He had adjustments he needed to make too, in my opinion, when it came to change. Like, I think they both had a stubbornness to them for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I just wondered when he had mentioned how all his friends were pretty much getting married and having kids, were his intentions truly there to like really have a wife, or was it to just keep up with the Joneses?
I mean, honestly, I think that he truly did want a wife. Because also like why go through that kind of a process if you didn't want to be married?
Well, Chris
Um,
did.
well, he's a special case, right? Because he was already engaged twice before the show. So like
Whew.
he wants to get married, but he's just not in a place, I will say, I don't want to say
Mm,
ever, but he's just not in a place to where he is marriage material.
yeah,
So
definitely
leave
not.
leave that one there. But
Yes, ma'am.
my man Jake, on the other hand, I think that I truly think that he wanted to be married because, like you said, that he was really trying. And I honestly, I just didn't really care for her. I think that she
Same.
was definitely the problem.
Right. And that bracelet though,
Oh my God.
she was a real
Don't get
little
me
bitch about that
started.
bracelet because the man, I don't care what the bracelet cost, I don't care what the item was, it was a gift to you
Right,
as his new wife.
right.
Okay, you had your mom hold on to it while the ceremony, reception, whatever was going on. But make it a point to get that shit back and have it with you because
Hmm.
why? And then to downplay the situation, like it's just a bracelet and like blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
like what the fuck? Like, and this bitch, this is why you've been single for 7 years.
Right.
That
I'm
reason,
surprised only
exactly.
7 years. I'm surprised it's only 7.
Exactly. Like, but even the conversation she had with her mom about getting it shipped back to her,
Her mom
and
was just as bad.
exactly. And I'm just kind of
Sorry.
like, what is going on here? Like, I looked at my boyfriend and now we were just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, do they not see like what is like it was a gesture. Like, even Jake was like, if you didn't like it, like I would get it, like exchange it and get you something that like you actually liked. But like he
Right.
didn't know you. You guys have never met before. It was just like the thought that counts because you know when people get
Right.
married, they exchange gifts. Like,
It's crazy. And it's just like he said, you didn't have to necessarily wear it if you just had it here.
right. Like it wasn't even there. Like it was states away. Like what the fuck?
Oh, that
Insane.
girl, she got a problem.
She does.
And I don't have any negative or well wishes for her. That's all I'm
I
gonna
don't
say.
I don't either, but I'll tell you because when the show is like over and like I've
Hmm.
watched everything, I stalk all of their Instagrams and let me just tell you, I'm not surprised that to this day her Instagram says I'm single and she's
I
already been in like 6 more weddings.
I couldn't find hers. I only found if you're okay to move on. I don't actually.
We can move on. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Are we still going from like worse to better
Oh,
or
whatever. Doesn't matter.
okay? Because I found Brianna and Champagne Vinny's. I found their
Yeah.
Instagram
Oh, they have an
and
exciting update.
they have a baby.
That was
He's
so cute.
cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
I
definitely
thought
reminded me of Amani and
they did, but didn't. I definitely liked Amani and Woody way better than I
yeah,
liked
yeah.
them. But it's because Vinny was way too emotional at times for my liking. And I was like,
Yep.
you're acting like a bitch right now. I'm gonna need you to like say it with your chest.
Yeah.
So, but Brianna and Vinny were good. I was concerned that she was going to not hold on as strong as she did throughout the show
Yeah.
because he definitely had some trying times and it was just
He definitely did.
like it was like your 7-year-old little cousin that's getting upset because they're trying to learn something new and they
Mhm.
can't get it and they're all frustrated and it's like my boy,
Exactly.
you are too old to be acting like that. And I was like, and my boyfriend's like, you don't like him? And I'm like, it's not that I don't like him.
Mhm.
It's just that he's too emotional. And there's nothing wrong with a man being emotional. I'm gonna say that. Like,
Yeah.
I want a man to be able to feel and express his emotions because it's downplayed a lot in society and men are told that they aren't able to feel what they feel. I'm fine with a man feeling his emotions, but the fact that you're upset because you can't get a little cha cha, bachata, salsa, merengue, whatever down,
Oh yeah. He was
you
such a
know,
baby. Yeah. I
he
was like, I
was
would have ran. Those would have been flags that I couldn't deal with because
right.
like
And that's why I'm
it's not
surprised she
that
stayed.
serious. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Cause like and you get mad that she makes a joke that you spilled champagne on yourself. Like that was all cute and like fun and games. Like and if you can't joke about that kind of shit, then like we can't be
Right.
together.
Deuces, you got to go, brother.
But the fact now that his nickname is Champagne Vinny is just like absolutely
Right.
hilarious to me. So
Right. It all
he
worked
he
out.
learned clearly, but yeah.
He did, but I'm happy for them. And he really did take well to her and her little puppy dog.
Mhm.
And,
He's a good guy, yeah.
he's just, just his heart is just a little more squishier than others. That's all.
I don't even know if it was that. He just had some weird like man complex that was just kind of like my woman ain't gonna disrespect me and that like I
Mm-hmm.
can't look stupid or silly in front of her kind of a thing. And like that was just like
Mm-hmm.
weird. Like kind of like loosen up, you know?
Yeah,
Whatever
exactly.
his mind frame was just kind of weird. But
Exactly. Yeah. That's true.
yeah.
Agreed. Go ahead. Next.
Oh gosh. Well, how about this little? I don't remember all the names. Now I'm thinking about it, but the little drunkie and and the
Ooh.
pilot.
Virginia and Eric.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Those two. Ah,
Go
hmm,
ahead, tell it.
the
Say what you gotta
worst.
say. This
I
is
don't
what we're here
even.
for.
But I don't even know where to start. Like their differences were just so, not even that they were so different, but the differences that they had as a couple were those issues that like you don't want to have differences on when you're in a relationship.
Mm,
And her like, I'm gonna go party and I'm gonna sleep on like my guys' couches like when I can't come home or whatever. And he's like, no, like you're gonna come home to me like we're married. And the fact that like she wasn't understanding that was just so weird to me because like that's what you do when you're in a relationship. Like you come home to that person every night. Like you want to go
right.
out and have fun with your friends, like cool, but like you're still gonna come home. Like don't get
Right.
that wasted or like I don't know. Her mindset was just like party, 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 and he
Still
was like,
trying to figure out why she was
settle
on the
down.
show.
Yeah, I don't really know either. Because even though they decided to stay married at the end of it, I don't know if you've looked them up or not, but they are
Couldn't
no
find them
longer.
either.
Oh,
I,
so they're no longer together. Um,
how surprising.
Yeah, and she's in the
How
same boat
surprising. Haley.
as Haley and like single girl Instagram, but my man is already in a relationship with this blonde chick. So,
Does she look as young as Virginia? Because that was a bit concerning for me.
um, well, according to my boyfriend, Virginia didn't look young. He thought she looked really old, and I was like,
She, she did not look her age. I'm gonna say that, but Eric gave me a little bit of like weird vibes because,
he did, but
you
for
know,
right reasons, I think. Well,
uh,
he was weird because I think he just wanted a relationship so bad to where it got like a little weird with like his like quote unquote demands that like
mhm.
were normal but like things that like maybe you don't have to say in a relationship.
Yes, I think it's the his deliverance as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, a part of me felt weird about him because it kind of seemed like he enjoyed being the older one with the younger girl because he can kind of have those controlling-ish ways where it's kind of like,
Oh.
who's your daddy?
Oh my god, I
That
didn't get those vibes at all.
that was my kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, that was like my kind of vibe. It like
Oh
was a
god.
bit creepish at first, but later in the season it wasn't as strong as that same vibe. She did need to be, kind of pulled in on them reins a little
Oh
bit
yeah. Yeah.
because she like, girl, you're just a social alcoholic. I don't care what anybody says. Like
Yeah,
you
definitely.
you drink way too much.
Mhm.
You prioritize your friends too much to want to be a wife,
Right.
because
That was weird.
if you're going to be a wife, you understand that your priorities change. I'm not a wife and I fucking understand that your priorities change. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
That's just a given in those types of situations. But
Mhm.
and I can understand her when she was easily offended about her dog, because it definitely did seem like he was comparing the dogs. However, the thing we need to remember when we watch these shows is that there is editing. So the
True.
context is not always fully what we're being shown, So
Yeah.
there's always more to the conversation than what we're given. But one thing we know for sure is that she was drinking way too much
Mhm.
in her life, not
Yeah.
on the show, in her life.
Yeah.
Like,
You could tell. I think that's why you can tell she doesn't look her age.
yes. And he's Eric was also military, so in my opinion, that's going to make him very black and white when it comes to things. So him finding a gray area doesn't seem like a breezy thing for him to do.
Mhm.
So he was like you were saying, he had certain like demands that were just automatically expected, or just like, this is the structure and this is what we're going by. So he
Yeah.
had to learn how to bend. I was not really happy that they stayed together, that they chose to stay together, just because I knew they were eventually going to break up. So it was like, you're just
Yeah.
wasting everybody's time. Just get
I mean, it
divorced
was,
now.
but at least they tried, I guess.
Did they? Do we
They
know that?
they put in the effort enough to say yes. Like Haley and Jacob, they didn't put in any damn effort in. Like,
Hey, Cassie, look at this. Yes, not a lot of effort. I'm not sold.
Whatever. Clearly.
And we have one more couple, right?
I don't know. While we were talking, I was trying to think about it, but I couldn't remember.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah,
Do you
for
remember?
sure. For sure. For sure. That's what the fuck they said the whole time. Clara and Ryan, for sure. If I heard that man say for
Oh, I
sure
was like,
one
what
more,
is happening right now? I was like, I feel like you're getting at something, but it's not
y'all,
ringing a bell.
when you watch this, if we're spoiling this for you, or if you already have watched this, go back
Probably.
and look at, because my boyfriend pointed it out to me first episode, because mind you,
Oh,
he already watched the season before
yeah.
I did, so he didn't watch the whole thing through with me again. He watched most of the episodes,
Mhm.
but he goes, oh, there's something you're gonna realize, like you're just gonna notice. And I'm like, okay, like that's pretty much all I got for that statement. So
God,
I'm just
I would
like,
have
what the
been
hell is
so
he talking
annoyed.
about?
Yeah.
I kind of was, but I was, and he's like, I'm not gonna tell you, I'm not gonna tell you. Literally by the second episode, for sure. And I'm like, it's the for sure, isn't it? It's the for sure. And he's like, yes. Ryan said for sure and definitely so many times that Clara picked up for sure. She said for sure all the time. Oh, how's it going? For sure. Yeah, things are good.
Oh God, I'm so glad I didn't
Okay.
realize that because I just would have been annoyed throughout the entire season.
Yeah, you're lucky that we were watching the shit, because I definitely would have been texting you like for sure. Ryan, Clara,
Oh my
for
God,
sure.
so annoying. And I didn't pick up on it either because like at the end of it, they did like a whole bunch of clips of him saying that's my jam, not for
Mm,
sure. So
yeah, it was. Or he would be asked, like, oh, how are things going? No. Or yeah, he would start like responses with no. No, yeah, things are definitely good. Why are you saying no?
he was just a weird character in general, and I just I struggle understanding him. And I don't know, just like him as like a whole, like because I thought I liked her. I thought that she was a good
She was
girl. I
cool.
thought that she was a good marriage material and all this kind of stuff. But
Same.
he was just really weird. And then like when they came out or when she came out and pretty much told everybody that like they weren't having sex yet, which like I do understand that to a point.
Hmm.
Because they're only together for like what 2 months or whatever before they make
Yeah.
decisions and that kind of stuff, which isn't really that long. But the thing that really blew my mind is when she was like, I do things for him and pretty much like I'm just not being penetrated. Like but we're doing like everything else like under the sun, and that I just couldn't understand.
That shit was weird.
Very weird.
I know damn well
Oh.
I am not putting in that much motherfucking effort
No, not when
to
you don't know
receive
someone.
not a thing back.
Yeah.
Now, if I knew that there was going to be some reciprocity within here,
Right.
sure, get a little something, something, get a little,
Hmm.
a little fun happening in the sheets. But girl, you
No.
continuously were doing this,
Hmm.
knowing he was not going to give you anything back. Like
Yeah.
like anything.
I know, and like I totally understand he's like religious and like whatever, but like if I'm
No,
getting you off every night, like why can't we just like have sex? Like I don't understand.
if you're going to decide to not have sex because you're religious, then don't do anything if you're
Right.
not going to just give anything back to your partner. Like, so you're
Yeah.
just gonna have homegirl's wrist all weak and shit all
Whatever
sore.
else.
Like,
Yeah.
homegirls over here
Oh
just
shit.
putting in all the manual labor, just all the manual labor. And
Sure is. I would
what
have been
is it? Just
frustrated too.
like, oh, all right, thanks, babe. Good night. And go to sleep.
Yeah, like I don't
Like,
know, like how awkward would that be? Like
I would
I
be
don't
tapping on that shoulder, like,
understand.
excuse me, excuse me.
Right.
Did you?
Like
did you just roll over and go to sleep? What the
Yeah. Or I would have
when she,
tried something because, like, okay, like if I tried to, like, do whatever, like, what, you gonna like smack me and being like, no, like,
right.
don't put it there.
Man, I'm too petty because I'm like, listen, if you're not gonna give me anything, and I'm gonna say this is the older me, but if you're not gonna give me anything, and I know you're not gonna give me anything, I am not extending any services. Like I'm not offering you a damn thing. Simple
Yeah,
as
I
that.
mean, not for that long and like that consistently. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-mm.
I
No,
just, oh,
she
that
put
whole
that
thing
whole
is
shit
kind of
on
weird.
blast too. I was surprised.
She
I was
did.
like, damn, clever girl, let us know what's really happening over there. Like
Yeah.
she said everything without saying anything. Like she said everything without giving details. And I'm
Yeah, she definitely
like,
did. And like, I
yeah.
just, I don't know, that really blew my mind. Like, I was very surprised that they actually decided to stay married because,
Mm-hmm.
sex is obviously not everything in a relationship, but it's a huge
No.
part of it. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that like she was
It's
really
America.
unsure, yeah,
Everything's sexualized here.
yeah,
Like it's gonna be a decent factor in the relationship.
yeah. And then the whole like, oh, I've never said I love you to another woman, and I don't know, he was just strange.
Yeah. He was which I feel 50-50 about the whole like never saying I love you. I partially get it, but
Wait, I
his
mean,
way of
that's
going
not
about it was weird because you're
right.
gonna tell her you love her on the reunion show.
Well, and even that was forced. Like, he
Very.
wouldn't have said it if the guy didn't ask about it. So I'm just kind of
Right.
like, I don't even like look at that as like being like a real thing, even though she was like all, happy and excited. But it's like, no, like he was still forced to like say this to you because he would have looked like a real asshole if he didn't say anything.
But even her response wasn't as like huge
Yeah.
as I think it would have been if it was a genuine I love you,
Right, right.
you know? Cause I mean, I personally would have been like, so you gonna tell me you love me while we're on a reunion show?
Right. Like, mad weird. I don't know.
Like
I didn't buy
all these times I was putting in some manual work, you could have maybe just told me you love me then.
it. Right. True story.
You know,
At least
like
give me something. I'll take that. I love you, damn it.
and where are Ryan and Clara today, Miss Cassie? I know the answer to this one.
Oh, they are not together.
Mm-mm. Sure
And I
ain't.
don't think that they are in other relationships either. I think they're still single.
Yeah, I only seen his page. I didn't see hers.
Oh no. No.
I literally only found Brianna, Vinny, and Ryan.
Oh, I found all of them. All you gotta do is Google Vinny married at first sight Instagram. It'll pop up.
I don't know why I didn't use Google. I just went to Instagram over here trying
Oh,
to I'm like MAF like
oh god.
acronyms and shit. I'm not going to try to spell it out because I'll spell it wrong. But
Oh.
yeah.
Nope. I just
Ooh.
Googled it and they all popped up. The only ones that you can't see is Chris, which not surprising because his page is private.
Do us all a favor.
I
Thank
thought
you.
about sending him a request just so I can be nosy, but it ain't that serious.
Yeah. You don't need none of that toxicity in your life. Let it go.
No, well, because we all know now that he's not actually having a baby, so all that for nothing. But can we actually? I know that we're like running up on time here, but
Hmm.
something else that's like really been bothering me is throughout this process of when he thought that he was having a baby with this other woman who was not his wife that he signed up to marry at first sight. Anyways, um, he had the audacity to buy this bitch a new Mercedes.
He bought Mercedes and Mercedes.
Can we talk about this? Because like, why? Like, oh, she got into a car accident 6 years ago, and I don't want my baby to take the bus.
So I'm gonna put my baby in a car with a woman who hasn't driven in a long time because she was traumatized from driving, from being
Like,
in an accident.
what? And this was so long ago. Like, why is this? Like, I understand the concept because I also had this conversation with my boyfriend. Like, I understand the concept of wanting to make sure that your child is safe
Mm.
and having some kind of not responsibility, but just kind of like, I don't know, want
Like,
to like make sure that your, child's going to be okay. Like, I get that.
hmm.
And I'm a little indifferent on the car situation and especially a damn Mercedes. But, anyways,
But
um,
like, sorry, go ahead.
but I mean, just like, I don't even know. I just lost my whole damn train of
I'm
thought because
sorry.
I'm just so caught up on the fact that it even happened.
You bought a Mercedes for a woman who, like, if you don't get her a 2007 Toyota Corolla
Right.
and call it a day, put some new tires on that bitch and give her some rims, you're good to go.
Right, right. If you're really like that worried about, her safety or whatever. And now, like, who has the car now? Because she doesn't have a kid. So,
Did she actually get a car is the question.
yeah, that's true too. I don't know. Maybe it was just for the show. I don't know.
Because I felt like he was kind of just doing shit to try to push Paige over the edge
Yeah,
and
could have
to
been.
like push her further away from him. But she just sat there like a statue. Homegirl was not budge. Like for a good minute she didn't budge. But fast forwarding to the reunion,
Mm.
the fact that she didn't know until that point that he wasn't attracted to her. I mean, he kind of said it to her, but
Well, I was gonna say I thought that she kind of knew. I don't think she knew the extent or that he was going around
right,
telling everybody about it.
right.
Um, but
Whew.
yeah, because like even in the beginning when they first got married, they showed the clip of him saying "fuck" when she walked out on the like
Mm-hmm.
walked down the aisle,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of thought that that's the kind of like fuck that he was meaning it to be, but the like
Right.
show like played it off like or they edited it in like the right way.
Yep, exactly. And it's hard to
So
tell because these people are also being recorded on, during their daily lives. They're being recorded
right,
for television. So things also are just different from their
yeah.
nervousness and stuff like that. So it was hard to tell.
Mhm.
But I questioned the same thing when they did the playback and it was like,
Yeah, it was just very interesting.
he a hoe. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, yeah. Hello. Two, like, okay. Not only did you just find out that you were just engaged like a couple of months ago or whatever before the show started. Oh, but then you were also engaged before that too. Like, what is up with this dude?
I mean, he's clearly a hoe because it's like, let me have sex. I don't find you attractive. Let me have sex with you and see if you look any better after. No,
Yeah.
stupid. She's gonna look the damn same.
Right. Like, and she was like, and it happened like multiple times, like
No
every
condom.
night. Like, yeah. I'm like this bitch. I feel so bad for her because I know how embarrassed she has to feel and like just my heart goes out to her. I mean, she was partly at fault, but then also not because she did sign up to like do this and she wanted to be committed. And like I totally get that, but like there are just some things that you just can't stick by for.
I'm just gonna say one thing. I'm gonna leave this as my last thing because, like you said, we're running on time. And I'm gonna say something I know many people may not agree with, and I'm not saying this to offend anyone, but this is my disclaimer prior to my statement. So,
Okay.
Paige used the statement that. So, let me rephrase that. Paige used her religion as her reason to why she was doing what she was doing.
Yeah.
So, as a woman of God, she is going to stick by him and XYZ.
Hmm.
I'm just going to say, especially being a Black woman
Yeah.
who was raised in church, I'm going to tell you, I no longer go to church. I do believe in God for sure, without a doubt. Like, I believe
Hmm.
God is there, there's a God. That is an excuse. I don't care what anybody says. That's an excuse to allow yourself to be hurt and dragged through the mud. And on top of it, it's someone you met through a TV show that you literally just met. This is not someone you genuinely met on your own time,
Right.
that
Right.
you actually had a bond, you had something working, there was some type of substance there, and then shit got fucked up. Shit was fucked up off rip,
Yeah. Oh yeah. For
coming
sure.
out the gate, like
Yeah.
walking down the aisle, literally.
Hmm.
Shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
And she kept saying, oh, something this because of her religion and something that
Yeah.
because of her religion. No disrespect to her religion at all. Like, no, absolutely no disrespect. But
Hmm.
when is enough enough?
Right. Yeah. It definitely took her a while to get there, but thankfully she got there eventually. Because like even during the reunion, I was like, "Oh shit, she's about to say she wants to stay married to him," but she finally came to her senses
My
and was like, "No,
gosh.
I want a divorce." Like,
It was so, that was the most frustrating thing watching
yeah,
for me, because it
yeah,
was like, I understand that you have devoted yourself to this duty,
Mhm.
which there's nothing wrong with that. But like you gotta find your boundary within that duty. Like,
Yeah.
so God's not gonna put you on the planet to continuously be embarrassed or made a mockery of.
Mhm.
Like, girl,
Yeah.
like read another scripture, pull it together, like figure out what's happening here, because like
Yeah.
you're not doing yourself any justice whatsoever.
No.
But yeah, that's just my piece. That's all.
I know. I feel like we
Whew.
could talk about those two forever because what
They,
baggage to unpack.
right. Every episode got better and better, or
It sure
worse and
did.
worse.
Well, and just when you didn't think it can get any worse, you're like,
Right.
holy shit, what is happening over here? I just
It's
can't.
2 o'clock. I need to be in bed. Crunching on some popcorn, watching another episode.
Oh god, and they're long episodes too.
Yeah, they were. They really were. Oh, wow. Girl, thank you for reminding me that we both were watching that show, because
I had to.
my goodness, y'all, if you watched this season, please let us know. Let us know what you think. Did it
Hmm.
have you on the edge of your seat? What was going through your mind? Because I know I was hollering some nights, other nights I was in disbelief, and whew, all the emotions. All the emotions.
Yeah, same. Intense. But on that note, guys, we appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of Mindset Talks podcast, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye, guys.